All right, let's talk about something really interesting that's happening literally right under the feet of millions of commuters every single day in China. We're talking about a massive, and I mean massive, makeover of their subway stations.
You know, it really wasn't that long ago that a subway station in China was, well, just a subway station. You know the vibe. Purely functional, maybe a bit gray, definitely crowded. The whole point was just to get you in and out from point A to point B as fast as humanly possible. But oh man, is that changing.
So, we're moving from just a simple transit point to a destination. Yeah, you heard that right. The whole idea of the daily commute is getting a serious upgrade, blurring the lines between just traveling, shopping, and even, having a good time.
I mean, think about it. You step downstairs to catch your train and, wait, is that fresh fruit, a sports court, a place to get your makeup done for a concert? It sounds a little wild, right? So the big question is, why? What's behind this huge shift?
Well, as is so often the case, the answer really boils down to one thing: money. We're talking about a massive economic problem, and when you see the numbers, they're pretty staggering. Okay, first, just wrap your head around this cost. To build just 1 kilometer of subway track, we're talking about an average of $1 billion yuan. That's about $137 million for 1 kilometer, and that's the average. If you're digging through tricky geology, that number just shoots up. So you have these astronomical costs on one hand, and then you have this, the typical fare. Just 2 yuan to start in big cities like Beijing and Shanghai. Why so low? Because public transit there is seen as a public service, a form of welfare, which is great for commuters, but, well, you can probably see where this is going financially.
Yeah, the math just doesn't add up. You've got these massive costs and this tiny revenue stream from tickets. It's a recipe for financial trouble. And the result is pretty stark. Even with government subsidies, in 2024, only just two out of 28 major city operators actually turned a profit. That kind of model, it's just not sustainable.
They tried cutting costs, things like running escalators for fewer hours, but that's just a drop in the bucket. So what do? If you can't really raise fares and you can't cut costs enough to make a difference, what's left? Well, you start looking at the one huge asset you've got, all that space right there under everyone's feet. And this is where things get really creative. Let's take a look at how cities are getting super innovative with this underground real estate. It's become a nationwide trend, and every city is putting its own unique stamp on it. Take Guangzhou, for example. The metro operator there didn't just rent out a storefront. No way! They launched their own in-house supermarket chain, UU Select. So you can literally hop off the train and grab some farm-fresh produce, maybe some seasonal durian. And they even sell quirky souvenirs, like a ruler with subway safety tips on it. How clever is that? But then you have Shenzhen, which just took it to a whole other level. They opened the country's first sports facility inside a subway station. I'm not kidding. You can play badminton, table tennis, even pickleball down there. Unless you think it's just a gimmick, get this. It has an over 80% daily booking rate. People absolutely love it. And this is happening all over the country. Wuhan has its first in-subway fresh produce market. Suzhou has a station that's actually integrated with a museum and a theater. And in Beijing, at Wukesong Station, which is near a big concert venue, you can actually get your concert makeup done right there in the station before the show. It's all about tailoring these services to the local neighborhood.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, right? A total win-win. The operators make money, and commuters get all these cool amenities. But it's not that simple. Turning a super busy transit hub into a commercial space comes with a whole set of really tricky challenges.
And it really makes you ask a fundamental question. What is a subway station for? Can it be a bustling shopping mall and an efficient transit hub at the same time? I mean, are you serving the commuter who's in a massive hurry or the person who wants to browse and shop? It's a tough balance to strike. Because at the end of the day, you've got some serious core concerns. Safety is number one always. You absolutely cannot have a shop blocking an emergency exit route. Then there's overcrowding. These places are already packed, right? And of course, efficiency. The main job is still to move people and move them fast. Let's be real. If you're a commuter in Beijing during morning rush hour, your top priority is catching that train, not picking up a durian. So the absolute golden rule here is that the shopping experience can't get in the way of the commute. And that's why you'll notice a lot of these designs are really smart about it. They put the shops in side corridors or on different floors away from the main rush.
The goal is commerce that complements the journey, not competes with it.
So, even with all these challenges, what this trend is really doing is forcing everyone to think differently about public space. It's pushing designers to imagine what's next, to create these hybrid spaces that are woven right into the fabric of our daily lives.
And the long-term vision here is so much bigger than just retail. It's not just about making a quick buck. The real dream is to integrate all sorts of essential services. Imagine pharmacies, childcare, maybe even little play areas for kids, turning these stations into full-blown lifestyle complexes that make your daily journey easier and more productive.
And that really leaves us with a fascinating final question to think about. If a subway station, one of the most functional spaces we have, can be transformed into a supermarket, a sports court, or a community hub, what's next? What other everyday spaces in our cities are just sitting there, waiting for a little bit of creative reimagining?